Hello everyone. I'm only 8 people away from 250 now. 8 people away. I'm so close to 250. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you like any kind of Texas sports. You like the Astros, you like the Texans. If you like the Rockets, subscribe. And honestly, when it comes to outside of that, I'll as well. I like to talk about the Dallas Stars whenever I end up finding the time to. So you can subscribe and I can talk about Dallas Stars as well. But subscribe to this channel, help me grow. Thanks to everyone who is currently subscribed. This is gonna be a longer video. And so go ahead and subscribe. I'm gonna have my Discord down below too if you would like to talk about anything, and it's not just sports. I'll talk about stuff too. I love Star Wars, I love Marvel, I love DC, Batman mostly. But I like to talk about things outside of sports too, so if you would like to subscribe, if you'd like to join my Discord, we can talk about different things. I'll welcome you to my Discord. It's pretty quiet right now, so I need more people. And then also, if you want to join my baseball fantasy league, if you want to just have some fun, if you want to see how good you are against me and other people, go. I'll have that link down below too. Go ahead and join my fantasy league. We can have fun. We'll play. You'll go up against my fantasy team, and then you'll try to see if you can keep me from being #1 in the league. Because I plan on being #1. And I plan on winning my fantasy title. This is my first fantasy baseball league too. So obviously, if you have any suggestions after joining the league, I'll be listening, and I'll be listening to anything to help improve my league. I've been doing that for basketball and for hockey. I've been listening to what people have a suggestion to improve the league, and I plan on doing it for baseball as well, and I'll be doing a football league in the future as well. Hello everyone, and welcome to Texas Sports TV. Come on. So, yes. Come on. There we go. That's a good girl. So, I know I haven't posted in a while, and there are a few reasons for this. There was the original stagnant videos for, more personal reasons for a bit. And then there was the phone got cracked for a bit. And then there was, well, if you know anything about what's been happening in Texas, the whole thing with Texas. And if you want to, so there were people without power, there were people without water. I didn't have water for a bit. I had lost power for a few hours at a time. Luckily, the most was only for 4 hours. So I wasn't on the bad end on that end for the most part. It was mostly the water. And I did have to deal with a whole lot more snow than I have ever dealt with. A whole lot of snow, a whole lot of ice. Arctic over here had a whole lot of fun. She's being a husky. But yeah, I pulled through, but it's, and I know there's going to be people laughing it up. Oh, y'all couldn't handle a little bit more snow. For the people who are laughing at Texans or laughing at this ain't no just a little bit more snow than what we're used to. Okay? This ain't no just a little bit bad. It's I know from a lot of your perspectives, it's not bad. Okay? But here in Texas, it's extremely humid, so a lot of it gets turned into ice, and it's just super slippery. But you want to talk about how there were car pileups. Guess what? You're going to laugh at us for the increase in wrecks. Guess what? Increase in wrecks also happened in the north. It's only news down here because it happens. But I remember reading an article who actually did the studies. The wrecks increase up in the north as the snow falls as well. So it's not just a southern problem. That's just an idiotic driver problem for the most part. And it's a problem of it's harder to drive on ice. And again, we don't deal with this kind of weather a lot, so we don't always have everything water, ice-proof, cold-proof, and stuff like that. Okay, and a lot of us aren't used to this kind of weather, so there's a lot of people who don't know a whole lot of what to do. There's a lot of people who don't know to lift up their windshield wipers for stuff. They don't know exactly how to de-ice the car efficiently and safely. We know not to throw hot water onto it, and then we know that we can sit there and do that. But yeah, apparently there's a brush and then a scraper that you can use on these vehicles that I don't have, so I had to improvise. And then we also don't have, those little chains to put on our wheels to make it easier to drive on snow and ice. No, we don't have that because we don't have to deal with that kind of stuff all the time. We deal with the heat and hurricanes, so we prepare for hurricanes with floods, for stuff like that. And it's not funny either. It's not just a ha-ha, some people have to deal with the cold. There were people who froze to death. There was an 11-year-old boy who froze to death. And yes, this is shocking. You're laughing because people froze to death because there was no power. No power because the grid wasn't prepared for the cold. No, this wasn't oh, the coal failed. No. Half the wind turbines also froze. Okay? And guess what? Half the wind turbines, that's 12% of the energy right there. That's still 12% of households. That's still millions of people. This ain't a coal fail. This ain't an energy fail. This was our system failed. Coal failed too. Yes, we used a lot of coal and a lot of propane. Okay, but the problem was we weren't prepared for the cold. And then, so guess what? And then y'all are getting out to Ted Cruz. Well, what's Ted Cruz gonna do? He's a senator. He asked the federal government for aid. That's essentially all he can do. Okay. Oh, but AOC raised money. Okay, exactly. When is that going to come to us? How's that going to help us? How's that going to help me? Federal aid needs to go and help the people. FEMA needs to come and help. Okay? The people, the electricians need to come and help. And the plumbers who are fixing pipes. That's what's happening. Electricians are coming out to help. And guess what? We didn't riot either. We handled this pretty darn well. We didn't riot. We didn't fight each other. Texans were helping our neighbors. Because guess what? This is Texas. We help each other. We didn't need... The federal government didn't come and help when it needed to. Joe Biden stood by. We helped each other. That's what community does. We help each other. We don't rely on the government all the time. Even though the government's help would be appreciated in a natural disaster such as this, we help each other. Someone came and helped me fix my pipes, helped get my pipes fixed. Electricity came back on pretty flippin' well. Some people out here that has more money than me, they gave me money I needed to help fix my phone so I can have a phone in this time of emergency. We help each other. Okay? That's how it works. That's how we are. And I know I'm not the only one. There's reports of neighbors helping each other. But again, there's still parts of Texas that need help because there are reports of people literally breaking up the furniture for fires to stay warm. And that's where the federal government can step in because it's a natural disaster. It's FEMA. But again, Joe Biden's doing nothing. I want to blame a senator who can't do anything other than ask for the federal aid. And in this, he was there, he was passing out, he was doing a photo shoot. Yeah, it's not going to help very much. Okay, that's the photo shoot. It was bad optically for him to go, but that's about it. He didn't do anything evil or wrong, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. But look, we survived, we held together. Most of us survived, and guess what? We just weren't prepared for this type of weather because we don't have to deal with it. A lot of people up north, you get a hurricane with floods that come out of nowhere. Yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of problems, a whole lot of death for y'all as well. And guess what? I won't sit there and laugh. I know y'all go, oh, we have to deal with hurricanes. Not as much as, let's say, the South and the Gulf Coast, okay? So, just saying, the kind of hurricanes that we get is nothing compared to, I guess, what New York would get. And then there's the Midwest laughing it off as well. Again, you get a type of weather that you're not used to, it's gonna affect you. And it's not, we didn't handle it too much more worse, because I'm told, I heard people say, oh, they've lost power to the cold as well. And y'all live in the north where y'all's power and pipes are cold proof. Y'all prepared for the cold, and it still fails sometimes. So you want to go and laugh at Texas? No. We survived. We had an actual natural disaster where people died from it. This ain't no laughing matter. And no, we weren't prepared for it. This ain't just a little bit of snow. We deal with a little bit of snow all the time. This one a little bit more. There were places with almost a foot of snow. There are places where it was snowing for a lot longer than normal. Usually you get like an hour of snow, and then maybe... No, this was days, a whole week of this. And then there were moments where it was colder here than it was in Alaska. This ain't no, oh, it's a little bit more snow, it's a little bit colder than normal. No, this ain't just a little bit more. So just deal with that. And the people that are still alive, we survived the blizzard of 2021. Yes, this was an actual natural disaster. This ain't no small time thing. This was a real blizzard here in Texas. Which I used to joke when it snowed a little bit that that'd be a blizzard. No, this was a real type of blizzard. It was snowing hard for a very long time. It snowed where I live for over 2 days, it seemed like. That never happens. This is something that never happens. We're not used to it. We're not 100% prepared for it. There's only so much you can prepare for whenever you're not used to something like this. Oh, the cold's coming. Okay. And it's supposed to get down. And it's like, oh, they did a cold proof it. There's only so much they can do. This has to be something you prepare way in advance, not something you can prepare like days or weeks in advance. It's got to be way in advance. You got to cold proof. And no, the solution is not, oh, more green energy. No, the solution is cold proofing what we have. When half of the green energy fails, green energy ain't the solution. The solution is to cold proof it. Oh, but you can cold proof green. You can do that with the coals as well. I'm just stop that. Stop with this whole pushing your ideology. The solution is to cold proof things to prepare for the future. To cold proof, prepare things for the cold. If it's not prepared for the cold, it's going to fail. If we builded all the green energy, all the wind turbines, and just kept them like that because we didn't cold proof it because the solution was just the green energy, we're still going. And then let's say half of it fails again, that's half of the energy gone. Oh no, green energy failed. Solution is to cold proof it, cold proof what we have now, and then as we build new things, cold proof those as well. It's rare, but that's the solution. You're focusing. This is why things fail. People focused on the wrong things. And speaking of which, I guess we can go into the Astros now. But yeah, I survived the blizzard of 2021. I know millions did, but not everyone did. And I just wanted to get people who may not be here in Texas to get the actual severity of the situation. And then the people who are pushing for non-answers, it's because that's not an answer. Oh, how do we fix it? Green energy. No, that's not how you fix it. You fix it by cold proofing the stuff that we already have. Okay? Because we don't know when the next huge cold for thing's going to do. It could be next year. It may not be, because this is a super rare event, but it might happen next year. It might happen the year after. We don't have the time to just change everything to green energy just like that. And that's not just a simple task. It's the solution right now for the current problem to cold proof what we have. And yes, it was a severe situation. My dog enjoyed it because she's a husky. But yeah, this was a severe situation. People died. This was not just some, oh, you got a little bit of snow and you're freaking out. No, people died. People lost power. People lost water. People were freezing to death. This was a very serious situation. This was a natural disaster. And then the people who are ragging on Ted Cruz, if you're ragging on Ted Cruz, then you admit this was a natural disaster. This was terrible. And it's not just a little bit more snow. So there's a bit of a contradiction there. If it was just a little bit more snow, then you have no reason to be mad at Ted Cruz. If it's a natural disaster, then guess what? Then it's not just a little bit more snow. Now, uh, what has been pretty interesting. The Astros lost. We know who we lost. The Astros lost George Springer. Yeah, we won't have Justin Verlander for the season. We lost Roberto Osuna. We lost a few people. And so the Astros didn't really have a true closer. That could change. We shall see. But the Astros have. Here's the thing. Whenever we talk about the Astros have holes, we're not talking about a team that has like major holes, and this team's going to be one of the bottom dwellers. You know, when I say this team has holes, it's more like it's not elite. It's good, just not elite. Okay? Because the Astros in 2017 and 2018 and 2019 were elite level teams. And in 2020, we struggled. Okay? Going into the 2020 season, we did struggle. The Astros people want to talk about this team was bad, when in reality, we weren't really that terrible. We just had our struggles. Our batting, they want to talk about how bad our batting was. Well, we were still top 10, except for 1 week. We were top 10 in scoring throughout the whole season. So, bad batting, okay. The league was struggling in batting. We were number 1 in strikeout rate. Again, terrible. That's a terrible stat. Number 1 in strikeout rate, where we were the hardest team to strike out. A top 10 team in scoring, where we scored them. Our scoring average was pretty well. That's such terrible. That's so horrible, isn't it, Arctic? Yes, horrible. No, our team actually did pretty good. People want to talk about how bad our team was. Okay, we're not number 1. So what? That just tells you how good this team is. When we're not elite, we're looked at as bad. Okay. Don't know how much of this is going to be repeat. But going over the players that we were able to add, we got Cash. On the outfield, we're going to be really good. We got Kyle Tucker stepping up. We got Jordan Alvarez who's going to be here for a full year, who is our best designated hitter, but he's going to try. He wants to get some of the outfield experience for defense, and yes, he's an outfielder. And then we also got guess what? Pedro Leon. We got a few people here that are actually, again, Astros are really good when it comes to prospects. Jordan Alvarez, we're good at getting prospects from other teams. Jordan Alvarez. And a lot of our great players came from prospects. We're good at getting prospects up, especially last year showed it too when it came to pitching, when it came to half the team being injured, especially in pitching, and the pitcher stepped up. No, they weren't the best. We were number 1 when it came to blown saves. But the problem was the batting. Number 1 team when it came to blown saves. Yeah, batting's the problem. But when it came to outfield, we're going to be really good in the outfield. Pedro Leon stepping up. So we got there, and our outfield's going to be really good. And then Pedro Leon, this Cuban, this prospect, I'm told, I've heard people say is really good, like George Springer level good. So we'll see. He is a top on the prospect. And then we also got Souza on a minor league deal. But then let's move on from the prospects. Let's get to let's talk about our infield. Our infield's still pretty good. I don't think we really lost anyone important in the infield. We still got Jose Altuve. We still got we also got Michael Brantley back when it came to outfield. We lost Josh Reddick in the outfield. But in infield, we still got Gurriel on first base. We still got Jose Altuve on second. We still got shortstop and Carlos Correa. And we still got Alex Bregman. Name slipped my mind. Alex Bregman in third base. And we still got Martin Maldonado as the catcher. So our infield's good. We got Adelis Diaz, who's a pretty good reliever. who's pretty good coming off the bench. I think I accidentally said I meant bench. He's pretty good coming off the bench, and then we got a few good players who can come off the bench. And then we also signed Castro to back up Martin Maldonado. No, and that's a really good signing. Why? He's not the best catcher out there. He's not supposed to be. Martin Maldonado's still gonna be our #1 catcher, and he's a really good catcher. He can make our pitchers really good. But Castro is good and really good, especially when it comes to, you could say he is our second catcher, the person coming off the bench who's going to be relieving Maldonado. So then what seems to be our bigger problems? Well, we lost Justin Verlander, but our starting pitchers are still going to be really good. Jose Urquidy, I believe, is we got Zach Greinke, we got Lance McCullers Jr. Pretty good. Zach Greinke seems to be our best #1 right now when it comes to that list. But either way, it's not elite. But again, still good in that area. And then we come to relief pitching. We lost Davinsky. We lost Osuna, but we didn't have Osuna last year either. But at the same time, our relief pitchers are still good. A lot of our young prospects, a lot younger players stepped up, and they took on a huge role. A lot of them were pretty successful. But again, we need to get a couple of hits. Oh wait, we got Stanek now, who was an opener and is 29 years old and was a pretty good relief pitcher. When it came to the Marlins, he was a starter for the Tampa Bay Rays. Went to Miami. He's a pretty good pitcher, and he came to Houston. He's on a 1-year deal. He's coming to Houston to be even better, which is, well, good because he was good anyways. 3.99 ERA. He did pretty good with Tampa Bay Rays. He did pretty good with the Miami Marlins. He's going to do pretty good here for the Houston Astros. And then we also got Baez, who was on the Dodgers for 7 years. Dodgers, which is really, really impressive. Why is that impressive? Dodgers, you know the Dodgers, one of the best bullpens in the league, one of the best teams, the 2020 World Series champions, the 2017-2018 National League champions. Yeah, Baez. He may not have been the #1 reliever that a lot of you 100% knew, but I'm sure a lot of you do know him. But he may not have been the biggest name there. But so what? He's still a really good relief pitcher. 3.03 ERA. He didn't even start off as a pitcher. He was originally a third baseman, so he also has batting experience. And guess what? Being in the National League, he definitely has batting experience as well in that area. And then he also has fielding experience. Again, third baseman. So he's going to help on the defensive front, especially when he's out there on the field. And whenever it comes to interleague matchups, he can help because he's actually a pitcher that probably knows how to bat. Just like Zach Greinke has batting experience too, but just probably not as much as Baez. And then you got... But again, so here we are at this point in time. We got another pitcher. Y'all all know his name. Y'all know who I'm about to talk about. But at this point in time, people are talking about we don't have a closer yet. I'm sitting here saying we don't have a closer yet. I know a few of y'all were saying we don't have a closer yet, and we need a real closer. Ryan Presley is not a true closer. He did step up. He did pretty good. Last year, his only experience as a closer, but he's not a true closer. He might end up forming and becoming a much better closer this year, now that he actually has a bit of experience under his belt. And yeah, there are closers who need to be, well, they ought to be closer for the first time, right? But I'm wanting someone that actually has closer experience. He's a really good pitcher with closing experience. And so I'm sitting there thinking we need to contend. We need a real closer. Ryan Presley could learn from this guy. They could. He could probably get better, especially if he wants to be a closer. He could practice, and then he could become a much better closer. Well, we ended up signing a really good one. Kishik. I probably should have looked up exactly how you pronounce his name. Just Kishik. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Cishek. Kishik. That's probably the closest I'm going to get without looking it up. A 2.78 ERA. He has closing experience. Yeah, he actually has experience as being a closer. I think last year when I was looking him up, he didn't do too well, but that was more of an anomaly. In a 2.78 ERA, or it could have been Baez who had the anomaly year last year. Either way, again, anomaly. And again, he's been to a few teams. He wants to be here to be better, and we're going to make him better. We get these 3 relievers who are already good relievers with our pitching coach, who is at this point known for making pitchers better than they already are. We make pitchers amazing. We take pitchers that are already good and make them even better. We have one of the best pitching coaches out there. Okay, so we're going to have a pretty good team, and we got someone with actual closing experience who Ryan Pressly could learn from, take advice from. Maybe Ryan Pressly, in this situation, maybe he becomes a true closer, a much better closer than he was. Okay? Now, knowing that he's probably going to be our go-to whenever we don't use our main guy, or we don't have a closer, he could learn from Kishek. You look up how to pronounce that name. It might be very, very simple. But, yeah, he could learn from this guy. And honestly, he could end up being our true closer. And if he becomes a true closer, and he becomes really, really good, we're going to be a really good team. We're going to be a hard team to beat. I had a bit of fear before he signed. I had a bit of fear that this is going to be more of a transition year. Now that fear is a little bit more gone, but we still have Dusty Baker, who misuses pitchers. Okay, especially when it comes to relief. But outside of that, we got a pretty good pitching lineup. We got a pretty good battle lineup. We got a good outfield, good infield. This is a really good team. We could win the World Series again this year. We are World Series contenders. We aren't bottom dwellers. Okay? People calling us bottom dwellers, we aren't that. We were 1 game away from the World Series last year. And our team, I don't know exactly if we got better. It looks like we got better. We lost George Springer, though. And again, we still have Dusty Baker. But we are going to be contenders. And if we miss the playoffs, if somehow we miss the playoffs, that doesn't really mean anything for our future. If somehow we don't win the World Series, we might not win the World Series. If we don't win the World Series, that doesn't mean very much. We are a really, really good team. A top tier team. One of the best teams. And, well, again, we still don't really have a real manager for the future. This could be, if this is Dusty Baker's last hurrah, I'm sure some of y'all want Dusty Baker to the ring, but we're going to have the whole world against us, even with Dusty Baker. It doesn't, as hopefully people should know by now, doesn't matter who we sign, who we get rid of, people are going to be attacking the Astros for a while because they're a bunch of hypocrite crybabies. Okay? That's literally all it is. And people are going to be commenting in this very video attacking the Astros. That's just how it is. That's just what's going on. But we got a really good lineup. We're going to be contenders. And if we don't do well this year, we're going to be back next year. Again, young prospects. We got really good young. These pitchers are still pretty young. Last year was not a full season for them to get as much experience out of it. We were getting players in roles that they haven't really played that much in before. Ryan Pressly wasn't a closer until last year. So he might get a little bit better this year. And then next year he's going to have an actual season of experience, it seems like. I don't remember exactly how many games are this year. I don't think it's 162. I hope it is, but I think they came to like a shorter season again. But it's definitely going to be more than it was last year. And then you're getting, again, we signed some pretty good prospects. And Pedro Leon could come out to be good. I'm hearing some reports he might end up, I know, blasphemous, better than George Springer, which would be, I'd say that'd be awesome if that comes out to be true. I hope he comes out better than George Springer, because that means our team would be that much better. Our team is not down yet. This might be a weird transition year. We might end up contending anyways. Next year, we're going to have our manager. Next year, we're going to be a really good team. And next year, if we don't win it this year, we're definitely going to be winning it next year. We got a good team here. We're going to have a good team next year. And I understand we had our draft picks taken away. We're still a good team, and we're still going to be able to do really, really well. And honestly, the more they attack us, I think the more we're going to get better. The more we're going to have people. Our players are going to be more defending us. Carlos Correa, we're going to have more Carlos Correa type people. People who are going to be playing really, really well and saying, okay, shut up about the past. This is happening right now. We're going to prove all of you are wrong. We're going to win. We're going to do whatever it takes to win. And that's what that's the Astros attitude. Back them up against the wall, they're going to do well. Back anyone up against the wall, it's either fight or cower. And the Astros showed themselves last year they're not going to just cower. So we're going to do well. We have a really good lineup. Maybe not the number one lineup. That probably belongs to the Dodgers. But we're going to be contenders. We're going to win another World Series, either this year or next year. And we're going to have another manager. No one's going to give us respect. Don't say, be tired of just saying sorry. Be tired of the attacks. Celebrate your team. Support your team. And you know what? Hold this 2017 ring, this title, proud as we hold the 2005 National League title, the 2019 American League title, and our future World Series title. Hold this, hold it proud. Include this. We won in 2017. We're going to win another one. I'm telling you, this team, I have less doubts in now that we actually have someone with closing experience. I know, I want to talk about being realistic. The Astros very well could lose this year. It is possible. Every year you have a chance of losing, but every year you also have a chance of winning. And why not go out, and why not support your team, and why not try and win? Even last year, when we were supposedly struggling, one game away from the World Series, we got someone with closing experience now. When our biggest problem was, I'm telling you, the biggest problem was relief pitching. Our biggest hole was the closer. We got someone with closing experience. Watch out. We're going to be contending again. I don't know if we're going to win the division. I don't know if we're going to win the World Series. We're going to be contending again. 2021 might be a weird year for us. It's definitely going to be weird. We're still looking at some future manager. Dusty Baker. We haven't replaced Dusty Baker yet. He's still our transition manager. Last year, some sort of weird transition year. I'm done rambling on. Y'all know, I have faith in this team. We're going to get another title. If we don't get it this year, we're going to get another title in 2022. We got a really good team here. We're just building them better, and we're going to be getting a new manager next year. That's hopefully really, really great. And it's not like he's going to be inheriting a team that's terrible. This new manager is going to be inheriting a team that's pretty darn good.